Okay, so we're going to be back on Nocturne for a brief moment. This is not going to be particularly entertaining section of the game, but I just wanted to tie up some loose ends. As I mentioned on my Discord server, I didn't realize that on the Maniacs and Chronicles versions of the game, which is what we were playing on, because that's the only way you can encounter Dante or Rido, you can't skip the Matador. Apparently, the first Fiend fight is mandatory. Like I'd been kind of having second thoughts on how I sort of quote unquote ended my Nuzlocke of this. Turns out it was kind of doomed from the start, because when I basically just copied the save file and continued from there, because my actual, like when I first played this, when the HD remaster launched, didn't get much further. I basically beat the Matador. I was like, finally, that moment from the PS2 era is behind me. I can move on. And then I got to the next area, saved, and never came back to it. I basically copied the save, leveled to 18, so I could fuse Ame no Uzume, which nullifies force, recruited Nozuchi, who absorbs force, and those are considered kind of the prerequisites for fighting Matador. Turns out I still lost on my first try, so I would have been grinding for hours and then died anyway. I won on my second try though, and I actually made a mistake. So I'll talk over the fight as it's going on here. Actually, I just need to switch my monitor over. There we go. Okay. Hopefully that doesn't cause any problems. All right. And then let me do this as well. Everything is unmuted, so we should be good to go. So I recorded my fight and saved after because I didn't want to have to keep... The second phase of the fight just comes down to RNG. So, getting straight into it, since we already listened to the dialogue. So, Red Capote, basically is like using Tsukukaja 4 times at once. Now, the strategy for this is you typically equip the Hifumi Magatama on the Demi-Fiend. I'm also using Rakunda and Tarunda on him because that will bait him into dispelling that and wasting some of his turns. Now, I actually fucked up here because I went into the menu to look at the Magatama, but I didn't actually confirm the switch over to the Hifumi Magatama, so I'm still running... I believe either the default one or the one that gives you a large physical attack bonus. But that actually works out fine, because Mazan doesn't actually do a lot of damage, and as long as you have one person of your team blocking or draining it, that will cause the Matador to waste his turns. So although the Demi-Fiend is going to take some damage on this run, Ame no Uzume's Medea heals the entire party for a very large chunk of their health. So really not much of an issue. So a lot of this fight is just going to be the Demi-Fiend and Nozuchi trying to hit the boss and deal as much damage as possible, while occasionally debuffing the boss to bait him into dispelling it and healing the team before we get into the second phase, which we didn't see the first time around. And yeah, it's rough out here. And I feel like if you're gonna do the force resistance strategy with a Hifumi Magatama, you need to have either Secunda to debuff Matador or Tsukukaja to buff your team's evasion and accuracy. They're kind of testing the accuracy of spells. Unfortunately, spell accuracy seems to be the same as physical attacks. Yeah, so the thing is, the Hifumi Magatama doesn't give you a lot of physical strength, and at this point, unless you level up one of the magic-focused Magatama, you're not going to have any skills for the Demi-Fiend to really take advantage of magic stats. And that crit right there was huge because of the Magatama that I had. So this is one of those strats where it actually worked out in my favor, although I'm taking some damage here and there. When I hit for a lot, and that actually becomes critical to. And I think this might actually be what I did back when this game first launched and I beat Matador. I was having like a deja vu situation where I was like, didn't I make this same mistake before? But you know, as you'll see, it works out. Still a very long fight. I think the second phase kicks in like around the 3/4 mark. Here we go.
But the moment of truth is beyond your grasp. I alone can discern it.
So he can do Takunda at any point in the fight. But the problem is Andalusia, which does random physical damage across your entire party. And I don't think there are any demons you can have by this point that can nullify physical. Maybe some of the ghosts, I don't know. But the issue with random physical attacks like that is the fewer enemies there are, the more of those attacks are focused on the people that remain. So as soon as High Pixie bites the dust, for example, everyone else is going to be taking an extra character's worth of damage, which makes this stage of the fight really just a DPS race. Which is why the Magatama that I have is actually kind of coming in clutch. Yeah, it's out of this world, the damage that does. And of course, because of the way that the press turn system works, once you're down a character, you lose one of your turns. And also on my first run, he used Taunt on the very first turn of Phase 2, which made it even easier for him to wipe the party. Because I think because of Taunt, Nozuchi goes down on this turn. Oh, no. Mazan kept him alive. Thanks, bro. Yeah, I probably didn't need to spend this turn regaining Ame no Uzume's MP, but better to be safe than sorry. No, that was effective. Down he goes. So it really comes down to this turn. Hey! And of course, nobody gets the experience. You obtain the Menorah of Foundation. You hear a familiar voice.
Those holding menorahs did attract each other. I have a favor to ask of you. There is no hurry, but could you bring your menorah to us? I will allow you access to the Labyrinth of Amala from the terminal. I will explain the details upon your arrival. Until then, please ensure that the menorah remains in your safekeeping.
You can no longer hear the lady's voice. And yeah, that's basically where we left off the Nuzlocke. So we will pick that up. And the expert negotiator achievement that you saw that I unlocked is just for recruiting 30 demons. I got that from getting Nozuchi, because it apparently carries through between save files. Oh, I did also have to recruit another Pixie to fuse with Angel to make Ame no Uzume. Got kind of lucky with that. A little annoying at the same time. On my way to fight Matador the first time. No, that doesn't make sense. Something caused me to have to reload, and the high Pixie that we have on the team, this is before and this is after. So you can see, like, the grinding took me basically an hour and a half of in-game time, compared to where we left off. But that doesn't include time that the game wasn't necessarily counting. And we are going to switch back to my main file most likely, just because high Pixie stats-wise is not great. Like, she doesn't have Zio, and I think on my original file she has Mazio as well, which, to be fair, the extra Pixie that I caught learned it, so now Ame no Uzume has both, which is actually really nice. But I don't know. We'll have to compare, because we're going to be keeping high Pixie for a long time. So yeah, I think I actually had the Komodo Magataba ingested, and now I've switched back to Marogara, the default one, because I want to learn counter. But both of these are a lot better than Hifumi, which does nothing for my strength. It does provide a lot more agility, but which does affect your ability to hit enemies. But I didn't really feel much benefit from that. So yeah, map-wise, so I did run a bit further to get the next save point ahead. So now we're just going to backtrack a little bit just to fill in the blanks for the sake of completion. The terminal up ahead is an S terminal. You can use it to return to the parent terminal. Yeah, but then you can't warp back to the S terminal, so that's really just if you're in trouble. And we're pretty healthy right now. Yukibukuro is west of here. If you're going back to Ginza, head east. Also, I feel like there's something off about the frame rate, or maybe it's just the way that the camera moves in this. And I wonder if that's something that differs with the Steam version that I've contemplated getting instead for the remainder of the playthrough. But that's a thought for another time. I'm going to be shelving this again once we get everything caught up here. I just felt like getting this out of the way and making the decision as far as the save files are concerned, and then we're going to get back to Liza of P, and then I also want to play through Code Vein at least to a certain point, maybe complete the first run, but there is a certain cutscene I want to reach for Code Vein 2 comes out at the end of January. And I'll be honest, I'm more interested in playing Resident Evil Requiem right now. Like, I realize my streaming has been very spotty, but like, I still really want to play more Liza of P and Trails in the Sky First Chapter. Those games are occupying a lot of my mental space right now, and I kind of just want to binge them. But at the same time, I'm like, yeah, but stuff I want to do for Code Vein specifically. I don't remember what the point of Mystical Chess was. I think their contents are random. And I do know that you can save scum to an extent, because I was reading, so the starting Magatama is supposed to have, if you let it go out of control, you can increase your strength permanently. And so I had one time where it went out of control. I had just saved, and it healed me, and then I reloaded, and then the next time it actually increased my agility by 1. So I don't know if maybe the person that wrote the guide that I consulted, well, it wasn't much of a guide, it was like an FAQ sort of wiki thing on Game 8, which is typically a source for like gacha games and stuff, so I'm not sure how accurate it is. But it's possible that it could just be a random stat boost and not necessarily strength, or because I had just upgraded strength, maybe that's why it did that instead. I don't know, but that is what happened. And so they actually recommend keeping that on for a while in the early game to boost your strength, because that helps you a lot in the early game, considering it's going to be a while before you have any decent magic for the Demi-Fiend. And we're going to play a little fast and loose with consumables. You know, I normally wouldn't, but because we're potentially switching to my original save anyway, and we'll do a comparison at the very end before because I've backed up the save from the end of the you can't delete save files, annoyingly. That always pisses me off. You know, I had to do some clunky stuff with my save for Katamari, because I saved it in the left slot rather than the middle slot, which is the default for that game, infuriatingly, because they do the whole Namco logo thing, and the prince always comes up in the middle of the screen instead of in front of the Na. So like I literally had to delete that save file and wipe it from the cloud on Steam. Because it, well, no. For the first one, for Katamari Reroll, it was, each save was done on a slot-by-slot basis, so I was able to just delete one and then clear it, force a Steam Cloud sync. We Love Katamari, though, I went through the exact same thing, because something in the menu convinced me that it would be different, or I think it like loads you into the first slot immediately on launching that game for the first time. So I had to delete that entire save file, or something like that. OCD is not fun. So anyway, we're gonna have to make a decision whether we keep going with this save file or revert to my original. We're probably gonna revert to my original, because while I did, like, I went back to this, the previous stream of this, as well as Blue Reflection, and I was like, yeah, I skipped all the like NPC dialogue in Blue Reflection, but that really doesn't matter until they introduce side quests. What does Truffrey do? Escape from most battles without fail. That's not bad. Huh. And I think we'll get rid of Seduce, honestly. Because being able to cure stuff is really nice. Yeah. What's up, Pixie? Oh, I just happen to have this. A float ball. So that just resolves damage floors. But in this, I was doing my usual Let's Play stuff where I read all the dialogue, so... for both of those games, I basically decided to just carry forward with the progress that we had already. Yeah, this is one of those games where, I mean, much like anyone who's played Persona would have experienced, your real limiting factor in these games becomes your MP before you have to, like, revisit the healing chamber or whatever. And right now we are very heavily relying on Ame no Uzume. So we're actually going to use High Pixie for healing. But that's the other thing, like, stuff that's really unclear in these games, whether it's going to be beneficial. This seems like progress. So like, Medea, for example, seems to heal a lot more. Or maybe it's just because of the magic stats. So she's got 12, she's got... no, it's probably down to magic. So that stat is actually very significant toward how much gets healed, or I guess how much magic damage gets dealt. Yeah, the rest of the Great Underpass of Ginza is nothing particularly noteworthy or difficult. Hold on. I'm hearing a lot of, like, noise in the back. I think it's coming from the game, actually. But, like, I keep hearing what I think is road noise being picked up by the microphone, but no, it's something to do with the battle theme, I think. Or maybe the noise being made by the enemies. God, these guys have high evasion. Oh, that sucks. Oh, come on. You know, this might be a good opportunity. Oh my god, that's so much. What's the exclamation point in the bottom right? Does that just mean that somebody is, Yeah, that's not great. Well, that might be an interactive thing. Yeah, that the audio track here is actually kind of driving me crazy. It's just there's this instrument in the background that's just like, and it's all I can hear because it sounds like my microphone picking up road noise. I'm doing all right, Cthulhus. I mean, I'm capturing this from the PS4, so not really worried about performance issues. Nope, that's just set dressing. Okay. Are you headed to Ikebukuro? Yup. Ikebukuro's right there after you get out of this hall. But there hasn't been a single being that's escaped the Mantra's clutches once they've been caught. Gozu Tenno is no pushover. You'd better be careful. No, in the fight specifically. Because I just hear this as ambiance, but in the battle, there's just some. I mean, I had a similar problem with. Oh God, I don't even think I'll be able to remember the game anymore. But there was one game. It was an RPG that I played that had this one sound effect in the background. That was just driving me crazy because that's all I could pick out. If the mantra nihilo ever go at it, this place will be toast in no time. I wish I could remember what it was. Oh, it was not something I was playing, it was something I was watching. It was the remake of Super Mario RPG. The battle theme for that, after it kind of gets out of the first little bit of the song, like the dun 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 dun. There's this horn that kicks in that just goes burn, and it just remains like that for the rest of the fucking track, and it drove me so crazy. I'm glad you remembered. Yeah, it still upsets me so much because it's like, how can you not hear that and get driven crazy by that? It's so infuriating. And I'm gonna use Toxic Cloud. Yeah, didn't really do what I was hoping for. But we can use Heat Wave. Ooh, that was good. I think this one's taking the most damage. Perfect. And I can't pass up the turn because it's a half turn. Damn it. Oh, Jesus. That was almost a reload right there. All right, time to use some items. Oh my God, those heal so little. That's crazy. So you can cure poison, and you can heal the team, and you can use your heal. Yeah, I'm glad I remembered that, because that would have actually driven me crazy if I couldn't remember what that other thing was. This is nowhere near as bad, because I'm only hearing this because I'm wearing headphones. You're hitting on me in a place like this? Really? Well, demons were the gift for Gab. Do you have skills that can calm opponents when they get upset? With a smooth talker like that on your side, you'd be pretty popular with the ladies. Okay. Oh boy, I remember these guys being pretty tough. Good crit. Hopefully they don't resist lightning. Perfect. Now we're cooking. See, that's kind of the other benefit of using attacks that can hit all enemies, because you're increasing the number of chances to crit. So like, Shin Megami Tensei games are very much feast or famine, and like almost nothing in between. Yes. Counter is so good. It means we just get a free attack sometimes when we take physical damage. And now... It's not even going to tell us what that is. I think we'll switch back to this one just because it's so much stronger. Yeah, I will admit my least favorite part of the SMT games is the risk-reward element of sacrificing HP to do physical abilities. But with how the press turn system works, it's usually worth it more than it's not. As long as it's hitting multiple enemies or hitting the same target multiple times. Although, I guess the question is, if you were to do like a random attack, and you did one that like crit on one guy and then missed another, would that cancel out, or would it still give you the benefit of having achieved the crit in the first place? I forget, it's been too long. I do think it's interesting that there's like a wind effect that travels throughout the battlefield. No, god damn it. At least we filled out the map. But yeah, there's just something about how Lies of P looks and feels that I just kind of can't get out of my head. I don't want to play more of it. It is a gorgeous game, and it, like... And I was talking up, like, because on the first Berserker, and I was like, oh, this game is so hot. I wish more people would give it a chance. Oh, God. That's a trap! That wasn't much damage. Let me see if we can run. Perfect. But yeah, then I played, Lies of P proper. Well, not that I've played any more than the demo that I already played, but now that I've had the ability to compare it against its contemporaries, Kazan and Stellar Blade, I'm like, yeah, no, Lies of P really does deserve the honor that a lot of content creators have been bestowing upon it by basically saying, like, that game is easily on the level with some of FromSoft's greatest accomplishments. It is, from what I've played so far, which I understand is very little, it feels like really immaculately crafted. I mean, not to say that Kazan is bad in retrospect or anything like that. That game, again, still surprised me with how polished it was. But Lies of P still feel like it's on another level, which is crazy. Again, it's like the old silliness of Japanese ranking systems. It's like, why is S above A? It's like, yeah, Lies of P feels like an S rank, whereas Kazan is like a triple A. Or you could even say that Lies of P is like a double S rank, or whatever. Whatever makes the metaphor work better. Well, I know I could just use a bunch of chakra drops. They don't really heal enough MP, so I'm gonna just go back to the life fountain. Plus, we might go check out the Labyrinth of Amala early. I was going to wait until we got to the next area, but I honestly can't remember if I checked out that place on my original playthrough or not. I have no recollection of what happens there. It's probably just some dialogue for exposition, but... We shall see. Because I do know that's basically like the end game dungeon, eventually. But I think you need to have all the menorahs to do that. I forget if we've seen this, so I'll just let it play out. I still think it's really strange that one of these is a pre-rendered cutscene from the PS2, and then everything else is done in engine. Like here, this is pre-rendered. It's so fuzzy, and you can skip it because it's not an engine, but you can't skip the other ones. Very strange. Also got a lot of mocha from farming. At first it didn't seem like a lot because I was actually spending a lot on healing the pixie that I recruited, but okay, so you actually end up getting to level 20 pretty naturally. I forgot how long the remainder of the Great Underpass was. Alright, off to Amala. There's a peephole. Will you look inside? The high pixie that we currently have on our team, yes. I'll explain that after the cutscene.
I see you've recovered the menorah from that fiend. I knew that I could count on you, even if the world changed. I believed you would one day learn to wield yourself as a mighty weapon. Here is what my master has to say. It involves the menorah you acquired. For one, it was part of his prized collection. As for its deeper nature, the menorahs are flames of life, which control the flow of Magatsuhi within the labyrinth of Amala. However, they were stolen by terrible fiends. You see, the menorahs grant their possessors unfettered access to the labyrinth of Amala. But that privilege is not intended for just anyone. This place is strictly forbidden to all but those whom my master has permitted entry. That is why we would like to ask of you a favor. Is it possible for you to retrieve the menorahs, the flames that light the floors of the labyrinth? And upon doing so, would you return them here? That is my master's request, to recover the 11 menorahs. If you are willing to accept the task, then you will be allowed to enter the labyrinth of Amala. I believe that is a fair offer, but it is up to you to decide. Will you do it for my master's sake?
Sure.
Thank you.
Although I kind of like the phrasing of the second option. I'll consider it.
I knew I could depend on you. That is to say, I knew you would accept our offer. The menorahs tend to attract each other. That is why I gave you one.
I knew you would accept our offer, you little content piggy. Suey.
As long as you have your menorah, you will eventually come across the others. When you retrieve a menorah, please place it on the pedestal in the corresponding floor of the labyrinth. I will reward you as you return them to their rightful places. If you hold your menorah to the spinning drum of Amala, the device referred to as a terminal in Tokyo, you will be able to enter and leave here freely. Please be careful. I wish you the best.
So I believe it's Yoyogi Park where you first meet Pixie. And
Preparations are complete. Let us see if our chosen fiend will emerge victorious. If he is the one we have been waiting for.
where she basically asks you for an escort to the I think it's Shibuya she wanted to get to. And can you replay this and once you get there, she basically offers to keep accompanying you. Pixie, once she reaches a certain level, can just evolve into High Pixie. You can also fuse her into different demons if you want. As long as you keep that source demon that was made from Pixie or High Pixie that you got from Yoyogi Park.
What seems to be the matter?
Once you get to the endgame dungeon, it will evolve automatically into... I think this might be tied with a true ending route as well, so you probably have to beat all the fiends and whatnot. It might be exclusive to the Maniacs and Chronicles versions of the game. She'll evolve into a particularly strong demon.
My master is resting right now. I want you to know that I'm always thinking about you. Though the fiends possess strength beyond compare, I have total confidence in you. Truly. I know that you'll return all the menorahs to the Labyrinth of Amala.
So I can't remember if I did any of this. There are icons on the save files. Like if we go to load, but there's 6, not 11. So there's a shaft leading downward. Jump in. Whee! Wait, what? What? Why is this a mini game? Okay, I didn't expect this. That's just silly. Oh, no. You obtain 177 Maka. First Kalpa. Hall of Candles. There's a huge pedestal where you light the menorah foundation. The menorah has been lit. See, I can't recall if I've explored this, and I don't know what kind of difficulty to expect here. This does seem familiar, but we have already explored the labyrinth before. This is the Labyrinth of Amala. It's a world completely different from the Vortex world which you came from. It is divided into several regions called Kalpa, and at the very bottom resides our master, the ruler of chaos. If you wish us to pursue the path of creation as a human, then there is no reason for you to stay here long. Yeah, so that's again referring to the three paths that you typically have in Shin Megami Tensei games. I think it's normally chaos, law, and then I don't know if it's neutral. I mean, again, they're using the phrase creation, and I don't know if there's sometimes more than that or not. Okay, so those you can't actually break through. I assume that they were like little glass structures. Seems like a decent way to actually farm Maka with no risk. I wonder if the more of these you do, the more Maka you can potentially obtain. Yeah, I'll have to remember to check that before I recopy my save over. In fact, we can do that now. It's probably better to be safer than sorry. Okay, so I don't think I've actually been here on this save. Oop. I'll skip this once I conclude that this is the same scene.
I see you've recovered the menorah from... I knew that I could count on you.
Can I? No, I don't think I can do a single skip. No.
Hidden for as how... You thought this... That is it, man?
Yeah, because honestly, I think when we eventually come back to this, I think I want to explore the labyrinth right away, if it's feasible.
As long... When I will... If you will be pleased.
Just because it's kind of the closest this thing has to a pure dungeon crawl. I realize that we're literally going through the tedious Great Underpass of Ginza, but still. All right. Oh, right. Oh, fuck it. For this save, let's actually just save here. Nope. Just want to take a quick look at the map in Ikebukuro. Because I'm pretty sure I just beelined it for the save when I got there. Yeah. Didn't even go up the escalator. All right. All right. Back at it. I don't know. Like, I actually don't know, because when I first played Nocturne back on the PS2, I actually stopped at the Matador, because I don't think there were concise guides back then that kind of gave me a strategy, and I didn't want to just sit there for an hour and a half grinding. Why are my dudes all damaged? I really shouldn't. Okay. That was actually worth it. I mean, I wouldn't say I got filtered. I just wasn't enjoying the, like, I wasn't even, I don't think I even bashed my head against it. I think it was one of my rare occasions where I'm like, nah, this ain't worth my time. So, you know, you can use that word if you'd like, but I wouldn't consider it as such. But again, it's been so long, I can't even remember. And when I came back to it, back when the remaster came out, again, it only took me like 2 or 3 tries. So it was definitely like, oh, that wasn't hard at all. But of course, there were also guides that were basically like, yeah, be level 18 so you can have Ame no Uzume and Nozuchi. But again, like I was saying earlier, I actually think that all the times I've succeeded against Matador have been not with the force nullification Magatama, which is really funny because that strategically sounds like it is the best option. But that second phase of the fight is the one that's actually problematic. The first phase, as long as you have even one, I feel like as long as you have Ame no Uzume, you're kind of set because she can heal everyone and absorb the damage, which will take turns away from Matador. And as I've said before, honestly, a lot of SMT games are not so much about the weaknesses themselves as being able to rob enemies of their turns. Oh, Nozuchi can evolve too. What a good boy. I like Nozuchi's design a lot. He's like an elephant kiwi bird. But yeah, I honestly, I probably still have that save file, so if I ever get around to hooking up my PS2 to play some of those old games, I'll definitely, I definitely need to do a quick look through the memory card on that thing to make sure I haven't named any save files after my IRL name. Not that I'm super worried about that getting out, but it's still better if it's not out there. Yes, you are correct. That is, that makes sense. So, okay, it's not completely risk-free. That was a fairly sizable amount of damage, too. That was like almost half of our HP. We are back to Ginza. Ah! Okay. This is one of those maps where it is really helpful, but like at the same time, it's so nondescript. You really, oh my god. All right, we're just gonna. These guys always get in the way of trying to escape, so I'm just gonna. They're also really tanky because they resist physical, and that's basically all I've got right now, except for Ame no Uzume. Which is, again, why I feel like this save file is kind of fucked, because Hypixie doesn't have Zio. Not that her magic stats are very good, but I want to say that she even has Mazio. See, like, the problem here is I actually don't remember which way was progress. Because one of these two is going to have one of those, like, 4 line symbols that indicate a staircase into the sewage. But I'm going to assume it's on the other side because it takes more effort to get there. Right? So we go down here. Yeah, my brain is weird how, like, I think most people see something like the Labyrinth of Amala and they're like, oh, a boring, like, nondescript dungeon crawl, but, like, that's kind of what I'm all about. If I'm not mistaken, I think there's even an option to go first person that I think I've seen before in gameplay footage. Which apparently they recently patched into Trails in the Sky First Chapter. I don't know if you can necessarily run around like that, but I think that might be more designed for photo mode. Is that a... Hold on. So... No? Maybe it can only be done in Amala. Oh. Huh. That's a thing. Maybe it was on a specific version of the game. I don't know. Yeah, this looks correct. Oh yeah, so that's something interesting. So, Toxic Cloud, I believe, counts as physical damage, but because the current Magatama I have on the Demi Fiend, Toxic Cloud actually counts as a ailment as well. Pull some Moody on you. Oh no, it just says low damage. It doesn't specify the damage type. So there you go. Ailment is technically a damage type, which is really interesting. God damn it. Okay. Low accuracy. I'm not going to refuse that outcome. Yeah, that restores so much by comparison. I'm gonna assume path of least resistance is probably gonna be for items. No, this... Oh, there's a save point over there. I mean, may as well use that. So I'm going to assume that this door is progress, but it's also right next door, so it's, okay, yeah, that feels like progress. Hmm. Very nice. That was a clean fight. Right. I will say the amount of, like, non-interactive, non-skippable cutscene moments, like the teleport and the ladder climb, do drive me a little crazy. Yeah, I knew previously that he likes that answer. Recently booted up Resident Evil Revelations to get an achievement with Cthulhu's that requires you to have a second person present. And like, that game has so much unskippable like dialogue boxes, it was actually driving me insane. And for reference, I also recently downloaded Revelations 2 and was playing a bit of that because I wanted to unlock Jill in case I ever decided to like put some of that footage into my eventual Let's Play of Revelations 2. And how does it... Just gonna see if I can run. Perfect. And like, that game has none of that BS. You can skip through most of that stuff, and it's just one of those interesting holdovers, I feel, from like the 3DS era of like, we don't really care about just the usability aspect of shit. I feel like going back to get that chest was not actually worth the time spent. Especially since we're effectively deleting this save file later. But, you know. I think we are very close to the end of this. I think after that door, we just have some more of those orange tunnels, and then we're out on the Vortex world again. Yeah, that's not great. Jesus. We're gonna heal our team anyway. Nice. Well, that worked out. I don't know if attacking a poison enemy gets you a bonus. Oh, what's interesting is that if an enemy doesn't get to act, then they don't actually take poison damage. That kind of sucks. I wonder if you pass a turn on a poison demon, if that means that it will not take poison damage. Probably not. I don't think the game would be that charitable. But this just goes to show, like the Shin Megami Tensei games really have it out for you. Like, again, the fact that Matador isn't skippable, and the version of the game that we got was the Maniacs version is back on the PS2 is crazy to me, because that's a really tall ask. Like, yeah, there are some hard counters to that boss fight, certainly, but at the same time, it basically necessitates, like, potentially an hour and a half to 2 hours of grinding. And you can't even, like, put that theory to the test until you've achieved those levels, because you can't fuse the appropriate demons or recruit demons of those levels. Like, just leveling the demons that you have, they're not going to be anywhere near level 18 for that fight anyway. So fusing really is the way to go. Fusing and recruiting recent enemies. If you travel north from here, you'll reach Ikebukuro. All the mantra demons are there. Go in peace. And the fact that he's apparently the only one that is unskippable is really funny to me. But I will go as far as to say that I think that's bad design. The mantra of Ikebukuro are rowdier than your average demons. Some will beat you down just for talking to them. Amen. Ikebukuro. Oh yeah, on this save file, we did pass up on buying a heal-focused Magatama that I probably have on the main save file. I was back at the shop in the underpass. Just thought I would mention that. Oh, this is the Cathedral of Shadows.
Do you know what the Demon Compendium is?
Oh, have I not unlocked this yet?
It contains information on all demons in existence, but only those that the reader has made a pact with can be viewed. I see that you have been recruiting many a demon. From now on, use this compendium to your advantage.
The Demon Compendium is now available for use.
Welcome to the Cathedral of Shadows, where demons gather. Oh? 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 All right. Oh?
The book that holds all known information about demons is called the Demon Compendium.
All right.
If a demon joins your party, it will automatically be recorded in the compendium. Those recorded can be summoned at any time at any Cathedral of Shadows location. Also, if you level up a demon and register it, you'll be able to summon it at precisely that level and skill set.
However,
But remember, you must part with a fair deal of Maka in order to summon a demon. Naturally, the stronger the demon, the more it will cost.
oh?
I'm assuming we read the rest of these, but either way,
Alright.
I can always do that later if need be. And then here's our current demon list.
Oh? Oh? Oh, all right.
We're about to do a comparison against the save files. Motherfucker. Can you let me? Yeah. So to provide a more in-depth answer to your question before Cthulhu's, I actually don't know all the ins and outs of the routes, what affects them, and etc. So, unlike my usual achievement hunting nature to like try and get as many endings as possible in one run, I know that this is not feasible to do with this game. So I'm just going to play it straight, choose the options that make the most sense to me, and see what the game gives us. It's very rare for me, but I do like to make that exception with certain games where it's just like, Inugami's a cool demon. This is one of those occasions where I feel like trying to engineer a certain outcome is going to be far more stressful than just doing it straight.
Hey, you! How come I've never seen you before? You come to Ikebukuro knowing it's the home of the mantra?
You bet I did.
Cocky little bastard, ain't we? Heh, well, you're in for a real rude awakening. I'll admit it takes guts stepping up to us, but if it turns out you're too weak, we'll rip those guts right out of you.
So I'm pretty sure I fought these guys on my original file, which is why we're going to do this. I do love this battle theme, though. I am kind of curious if the Great Underpass is kind of like the low point of the game. It's just a feeling this is a feeling I get.
Hey, shithead. We're not as easy as the Nihilo, so you better watch your back.
Ooh, Nakamata! Their design's great too.
Power's all that matters in this world. If you can't handle shit on your own, you're as good as dead, am I right or what?
You know what's up? You don't know shit. Who knows? So this apparently steers the direction of your current path. This is because I was reading a guide to see how much was in between where I left off and where my current save was. You don't know shit.
What? You mocking me or you just brain dead?
Why?
If you weren't a demon, I'd pop the Magatsu right out of you.
My guy, have you heard of the power of friendship? This is a JRPG. Let's ignore the fact that there are only like 3 people I know from the original world, and I'm not sure we can really call them our friends. All right. So we are now caught up to my original save file. We're going to pop back to Ikebukuro. And we're just going to do a quick comparison of what we got here. I also don't think I've been selling like any of the gems I've been getting as like drops on the Nuzlocke file. Or on this one either. I don't know if those are just loot items or what. But yeah, so this is our current team. You'll notice it's basically the same. We got Mazio, so yeah, that's really good. Yeah, Lucky Find. Okay, so that allows you to randomly find items while you're on the Vortex world. Also note that our magic stat is even worse. We also don't have the other Nda spell. And we only have Zio here. So that's not great. I also feel like again, it's one of those things where Lucky Find is one of those things where depending on what you can find and how often you find things, that could be amazing or it could be trash. So I don't know if that's better than being able to escape battles guaranteed or not. So this is kind of whatever. Definitely having Zio on this character is a lot better. Although the fact that we don't have the other Nda, I don't even remember what that spell was. Was it? I don't think it was Secunda. But I mean, technically, Ame no Uzume should be using Mazan anyway. And then item-wise, holy, that's a lot. And then Magatama, we've got my Shiranui. Interesting. I don't even remember where that is. Ankh is the one from the store. And then Iomante. Oh, we actually have Dia and Ice Breath. Huh. Tarunda and Secunda. Okay, so I definitely have a much better Demi-Fiend build going on this save file.
Welcome to the Cathedral of Shadows, where demons gather.
And then we actually have more. Yeah, so Angel knows. Yeah, okay, so we do have 2 full pages. So that's our gang.
All right.
So now with that in mind, let's quickly reload this one. Yeah, we're just straight up missing 2 extra Magatama for some reason. Yeah, Tarunda. Intrafurry. Does High Pixie on our main save still have Wing Buffet? And then, of course, she got Bahama through just evolving that stat. There is always a chance that Ame no Uzume could just evolve Mazio through a random skill change, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. And, yeah, Tarunda. What does that do again?
Welcome to the Cathedral of Shadows, where demons gather.
Oh, there's actually a proper, I forget what the button was. I think there is a button to look at the skill descriptions, but...
Oh, all right.
I know there is in battle. You can turn that on and off. Okay, physical and magical attack. But that's all, like, really expensive. For a character that doesn't actually have a lot of MP in the grand scheme of things. Yeah, so I definitely think keeping my main save is going to be in our best interest here. Although I just realized that saving in the labyrinth here is not going to do us much good, because I'm going to be overriding it in a second. So let's actually look up Magatama Nocturne. So Iomante and Shiranui. Okay, so that was in the junk shop in Shibuya. Both of them were. Okay, so we just didn't buy. And I'm sure we must have gotten Dia. So we obviously got Frost Breath from this one, Wadatsumi. And then we would have gotten Dia from this. Torunda and Secunda must have come from Yamante. Yeah. Alright. I think that is good. Hopefully I haven't forgotten to go through anything. So now what I'll do, just because I don't like having all these extra things, I'll copy over the save that I backed up. And this does mean that I'll be stuck with that Nuzlocke save forever, but I don't know. I might end up overwriting it with a once we get to the end game stuff. So let's just quickly get to the labyrinth again, and then we'll pause this for a while. And in between, I might go into the Demon Compendium and choose to save some things. Are we all healed up? Yeah. Go through this for a third time.
I see you've reclined. I believe. Here it involves as power. You sought this. That is it pan? That is my master. If you, I will. Thank you. I knew them as long. When you retrieve a manor, I will. If you will please.
I suppose the question is how much Maka you're earning from the minigame versus how much you're having to spend on healing your characters after at the fountain. I do kind of wish there was a save terminal at the Kalpa.
What I want though try.
All right. So let us save. And I think I'll do one fight in the first Kalpa, just to get a feel for if that's actually doable or not. Oh, I betcha those glowy things heal you. Oh, not all of the things that you can bust open will give you Maka. Oh, no, the shiny things are life stones. Which you can use to heal yourself, so I wasn't completely wrong. So I guess the thing I don't understand is that they asked us to set in the menorahs, but they don't actually tell us to explore the path beyond and what is at the end of the path. Hold on, I'm gonna Google that. There's a first-person mode in New Game Plus. Gotcha. Because the classic SMT games were played like that. Okay, it's gonna be a bit of a maze. Okay, these are the guys that were in Ikebukuro, so it shouldn't be that much harder than our current level of difficulty. Also, Nozuchi has Rakunda, which is quite nice. Ah, they're weak to ailments. Yeah, so this is probably... I'm gonna just make a blind guess here. I would wager that with introducing areas like this, you are probably expected to grind in the labyrinth before continuing the main game. And I'm gonna guess that if you don't do the labyrinth, then you'll end up being very underleveled for like the next boss fight. Because again, it's hard to imagine them throwing the Matador at you and then the rest of the game being a normal difficulty curve, you know? Oh. Nice. Yeah, you really have to press that quite early. I don't think that was worth it. Oh no, we didn't take much damage. think it's interesting. It's like fixed HP recovery and then slight HP recovery. And those items both seem to be... I wonder if by fixed, it's like specifically, I think that was 30 that it healed. I wonder if that's a percentage or if it is just 30. Interesting. But yeah, I think that is where we will pick up next time, which probably won't be for a long time, so don't get too excited. All right. I'm just going to take the opportunity to back that up. No, it always takes a long time to load all my save data, so I think I will run some ads, use the washroom while this does its thing. And I will see you shortly for some Lies of P.